America's tax divide is getting wider. Republican-led states are racing to cut or even eliminate income taxes to attract businesses and investment. Many Democrat-led states are moving in the opposite direction. Deep blue California, Washington, New York, all trying to raise already high tax rates to fill budget gaps and fund progressive agendas. The result, a growing economic experiment. It's playing out across the country. It's called, well, voting with your feet. Taxpayers are increasingly deciding under which model they want to live. I don't know, this seems like a no-brainer, but what do you think, Mike?
I don't understand how there's two sides to this argument. You have the one side where I take less of your money, and the other side where I take more of your money, and there's people raising their hands for both. I don't know how the politicians in blue states, in the extreme liberal states, can continue getting elected, and when all they're doing is taking more money from people, and not even providing, and for the most part, not providing any real service for the money they're taking. Yet they keep getting away with it. It keeps working. So, I mean, they're great sales people, I guess, but it seems like a terrible idea for people, and hopefully everyone wakes up to it.
Jackie, you were nodding your head a little bit there.
Well, I hear what you're saying. I think to a normal person, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But I think as the ideological divide worsens in this country between blue and red politicians. For example, and I know this has nothing to do with taxes, but I was listening to Ro Khanna this weekend making comments about the Iran war and saying that there was no conflict and we created some conflict by going there. And there was pushback against him saying they were, working on their nuclear program. And he said, well, it didn't have long range capability to reach us. So somehow that makes everything okay. When you hear some of these comments, like I had to head scratch on that one, the same way you are here. You just realize how far apart people have become and how polarized the country is. So I don't know what that looks like in 50 years. I think what it looks like is anybody who's got something goes to a state that's going to treat them better. If you didn't have something, you keep voting for those politicians that keep pushing for the policies that they promise will help you but never effectively do. And then you're going to have states going bankrupt while other states are flourishing. And I think that takes us to an even more divided, bad place. But, that's what's happening because the two sides can't see eye to eye and the progressives keep getting worse.
Okay. Brian, you're my contrarian, and I'm wondering...
Not always, though.
Not today. That's my job.
I want to be, yeah, Dagen wears that hat today.
Poo-pooing. Are we overreacting a little bit? Let me give you an example.
I'm from Minnesota,
I know.
So I don't think anybody overreacts to
mine,
anything, getting taxed too much and wasting the money.
Good friend of mine voted for Mamdani, loves the idea of socialism, but I don't think comprehends social.
Probably not.
Loves what Mamdani is selling without probably not having an economics degree, not understanding taxes. Goes to work, came home and told me they took out half my paycheck. Half my paycheck went to taxes. My response is, well, yeah. That's what you voted for, right? You voted for higher taxes. So my question is, do those people, the late 20-year-olds who were just figuring that out, then start to vote differently? And that in and of itself is self-correcting. Because you're always a Democrat until you get your first paycheck. And then you realize you want lower taxes.
Well, has this person been living under a rock? How did they get to their late 20s and just realize, taxes exist?
Well, they were in law school with me.
They were in law school. So this person who doesn't understand taxes went to high school and college and law school on someone else's dime probably, and they just figured out that they're going to have their taxes taken. That probably tells you why we have the problem we have. Don't you think? The highly educated can't figure this out. You know what they do, actually? The trick is these young people who love Mamdani and the idea of socialism, then the reality hits, but they're young. They're not tied down by anything. They're mobile, right? So they leave. They go somewhere else where they don't get 50% of their taxes taken. And the people who have built 30 years of a life here are left trying to figure out, how do I leave? That's the problem. All that said, this is why you play the games. You have federalism so you can play the game, right? So New York's going to do what it's going to do, and Washington State's going to do what it's going to do, and there are other states that are going to do the opposite, and we are just going to find out. And I think it's going to, the divergence is going to get wider before it comes together. I think in America, in 20 years, you're going to have states that are like New York on steroids when it comes to taxes, and you're going to have states that are like Florida on steroids when it comes to taxes.
Sign me up for that.
Right.
And we're going to find out. Like, we're just going to find out. And I love that. I think that's America's secret sauce, that you find out one way or another because of these laboratories of democracy in the states.
Dagen, quickly weigh in.
These liberal leaders, if you can call them that, act like they're just going to raise revenue by socking it to the evil rich. And in fact, it gets covered here, but what gets ignored is the fact that they are imposing regressive taxes on the very people who cannot afford to pay them. For example, sin taxes as just one example.
Right.
But if you just look at the highest gas taxes in the United States, California, they're all blue states. Gas taxes make it difficult, in the name of Mother Nature and climate, make it difficult for people to afford fuel to go to a job. It makes it more costly. And to what end? California, Illinois, Washington, Pennsylvania are the top 4 states with the highest gas taxes in this country. And in California, because, again, they would rather side with the climate crusaders than side with working men and women who have to drive. They would rather impoverish and poison them with pollution from carton oil from halfway around the world. That's not, they are taxing those people and trying to hide it. They're acting like they're working in your best interest when these liberal politicians, these Democrats, these left-wing nuts are crushing working Americans. And the people, rich people, money's mobile. They move to Florida, they move to Texas. But folks who are living in Riverside, who are having to drive all the way into Los Angeles, they can't get out of that godforsaken state. And one other thing we talked about it Friday, the estate tax.
Oh my gosh.
In New York City. So Mondani has proposed that the exemption be lowered from $7 million, where you could pass it off tax-free. That is the quintessential double taxation. You already paid income tax on that money, to $750,000. And the top rate then goes up to 50%. They want to confiscate half your money. And it would, based on my reading, an apartment, if you inherit an apartment from a family member, and $750,000 in New York City buys you a very small studio apartment. So to anybody who lives here right now, you better get the hell out of this joint before they confiscate any money that you have left. I live across the Hudson in Jersey, and I am proud to live in dirty Jersey compared to this.
You might have some people living on your couch from this set pretty soon. If you're serious.